So as we dim the lights, we present a small video that your own team from Holy Family shot of Dolores Mission. Thank you for your attention.
Together in Mission doesn't just help Dolores Mission School, it helps many of inner city schools in Los Angeles. Many inner city Catholic schools have a greater effect on children that come from poverty. We are really transforming lives, whether it's in South Central or Pacoima or Pomona or Boyle Heights. You know, we're instilling in our children a faith-based education. Our primary mission is to educate the students that live here in this neighborhood in what is known as the Flats in Boyle Heights, which historically has been the most impoverished area in Los Angeles.
But with tears in her eyes, she said to me, "I want my child to know a different life."
Not knowing it. A scientist or...
We build and work with families and students so that the child recognizes their talents, their gifts from God, so that they can persevere.
Ever since I came into the doors of this school, I mean, it's just, you just sense so much community.
For students and families in our neighborhoods, see our school as a place where their sons and daughters can begin to imagine new possibilities for themselves. Their high school graduation rate is 98%.
Honestly, fell in love with the school. I think their vision for their professional life is transformed.
The students were captivated. You could hear a pin drop.
They're already having ingrained in their mind that they're going to go to college.
And it was such a beautiful place to work, not just teaching, but everything that goes on beyond teaching, feeding the men, teaching them how to walk with Jesus.
We are a 30 to 90-day emergency shelter.
We found out that Dolores Mission is doing great things for our community, and we want to be part of it.
We provide breakfast, dinner, a locker space, a place for the men to shower on a daily basis, and of course a cot so that they're able to sleep and have a roof over their heads.
We want to get used to hearing and listening English, okay?
Show us that he got his high school diploma, but that little help at Dolores Mission gave him the or the goals to keep going. Now he's writing a book.
I'm 82 years old, you know, and I coach for so many years. You know, I've been coaching Heavenly Youth.
This shelter is referred to as a sanctuary. It allows them to find themselves again and then get a fresh start. Our rate of transition to permanent housing is actually one of the highest in the LA continuum.
The geographical area in which Dolores Mission exists is one of the most challenged areas in Los Angeles. Several different gangs have territory that overlap in this community.
Was sitting in his car outside his grandmother's house, and a car pulled up beside him and shot him.
Healing is the only way that we can survive. Healing, the healing that the families experience is working together and supporting each other. There's no other way that we can bring healing to our families.
You recognize that you did the wrong thing, you can make a better life for yourself.
They were identified as gang affiliated, and they're now going, one of them just got into Berkeley.
There's something about the school and the church that it's just that safe haven between the school and the church that it's almost untouched.
I hadn't been to church in a long time, so my friends took me to Dolores Mission. And as soon as I walked in, there was a feeling came over me, and I knew that I was going to beat it.
You make us feel like we belong there, like we're special in every way.
Because the community itself is a source of joy for us. Its strength, its resilience, its centeredness, that impress us.
These are our future lawyers, policemen, teachers, artists, nonprofit directors, community activists, and even the future principal of Dolores Mission School. A future Jesuit.
So this is a community that has all of those challenges, and despite those challenges, thrives.
So it's about family and education.
Amen.
And that's why we see it.
By supporting Together in Mission, you're supporting and transforming students' lives.
Ask of me, I'm ready to give whatever I can and do whatever I can.
They can just be a volunteer, they would see why, but it changes people's lives.
Because we're true to our mission, which is to basically be here with people and walk with people.
That's why I love Dolores Mission.
And all of those who donate to Together in Mission are along with us on the journey and make our getting up again possible. Seems like a pretty good place. I think I might try to apply for a job there. I'd like to begin where our students leave off when they shout out, "Thank you, Holy Family." As I look out and I see so many parishioners who have been so good to us, either members of our school board or tutors of our students or members of our women's auxiliary. Thank you so much for your generosity of time and talent and treasure. I can safely say that I think without you, I don't know where we would be, or even if we would be. Certainly the school, I don't know that it would exist without individual Holy Family parishioners supporting us as you have. So first and foremost, just let me say on behalf of Dolores Mission, thank you to all of you. And today I'm going to speak really on behalf of other parishes and schools like ours, not just Dolores Mission, but other inner city parishes and schools. And let me just begin by commenting on today's gospel. How do you feel? How does one feel if you expect nothing and are given everything? Or if you imagine scarcity and instead encounter abundance? I think you might feel a little bit embarrassed or a little bit unworthy. Because I think that's exactly what Simon Peter feels in today's gospel after fishing the tired waters of Lake Gennesaret all night long. Along comes this carpenter, Jesus, and says, "Throw your nets out for a catch." And you can almost hear the fisherman Peter muttering under his breath, "Here goes nothing," as he throws his nets on the side of the boat. And lo and behold, he hauls in a load of fish that takes 2 boats to hold. And there's Peter. You can imagine the fish flopping around his feet as he says to Jesus, "Leave me, Lord, I am a sinful man." As if to say, you don't know what I was just thinking, how I was just doubting, how I was just expecting nothing. And lo and behold, this abundance. Well, I have to confess to you and make a confession to you is that after 6.5 years, I'm kind of like Peter. I find myself feeling unworthy because coming to Dolores Mission, a place with few resources, I expected nothing and have been given everything. I imagine scarcity and sadness and instead have found abundance and joy. You can see, you saw on the screen our beautiful plaza with its bright canopies. When they came to build those canopies, they had to remove our preciously placed bricks so they could drill down for those posts. And Raquel Roman, you saw her picture on the screen. She's the director of the shelter, which is our church every night. And she says to me, "Father Scott, I have one of the men in the shelter would like to replace the bricks around those posts." Well, like any good pastor, I wrung my hands and said, I think that's a special skill set. I think we need to hire someone for that, a professional. And she assured me, "No, this guy knows what he's doing." And so with misgivings and with doubts, I said, "Here goes nothing," and said, "Okay." And I happened to be walking through the plaza the very time he was putting the bricks back in place. And what did I see but a man with his knee pads there in the middle of our plaza with his chisels all lined up as he delicately placed each brick in place. Couldn't have been better. I expected nothing and was given everything. Felt like saying those words, "Leave me, Lord. I'm a sinful man. I am not worthy of these people." Our church at Dolores Mission, the church building is exactly like your church building, only completely different. As the video said, we're shelter every night, church by day, shelter by night, and the two overlap. On one of the doors it says capacity 28, and we used to say sleeping capacity 28, and my disclaimer is that has nothing to do with my preaching, because I can put many more to sleep than 28 at any given Mass. So 28 sleep in our church every night, and 10 in our church hall, and 10 in another room. And this is something that's been happening since 1986, really led by the people from our parish who generously went to their cupboards and raided them. I don't know if Esperanza and Rosa, ¿están aquí ustedes? Ya están. So Rosa and Esperanza are two parishioners who are here with me today. They said that they're doing penance by coming with me today and coming to 5 Masses this morning. But they raided their cupboards to provide for these men, porque donde hay comida para dos, hay comida para tres. Whenever there's food for, thank you, whenever there's enough food for 2, there's enough food for 3. And the men who come to our place find it's quite a blessing for them, quite open. One man, Chato, he's almost like our parish mascot. He's stayed at our parish mission a couple of times. He doesn't call us Dolores Mission, he calls us Dolores Mansion. He finds so much open space and so many open arms to receive him. And there's quite no time like parish parties when we feel the togetherness of our parish, where homeless men and parishioners and children all come together to celebrate. One of those moments was in January. My associate pastor, Father Ted, had his birthday, and so folks decided to throw a surprise party, which we made sure was on his calendar. And these women prepared this very beautiful chicken pipián, which is like a green sauce, a mole, put all their heart and soul into that big pot of pipián, and we had beans and rice and salad, and the party really got bumping once the homeless men came into our church. We had a table reserved for them, as we do. Of course, we had a DJ. No Dolores Mission party would be complete without one of our own parishioners, and the kids really got excited when he bumped a little Gangnam Style. The highlight for me was when he played that classic El Caballo Dorado, which goes something like this: No rompas más, mi pobre corazón. And if you hear a familiar tune in that, you might recognize it as Achy Breaky Heart. And there we were, all of us, out there on the dance floor, Mexican line dancing, no rompas más, mi pobre corazón, homeless men and parishioners and children and a Jesuit or two. Kind of a who's who of who's nobody. And there we were, one family, all of us finding a home in that cafeteria. You might expect nothing, but we're given everything. We imagine scarcity and sadness, and instead encounter abundance and joy. And the people of Dolores Mission do have an abundance of joy and faith and courage and perseverance and hope. And what they don't have an abundance of is money to pay for the church and the school, and that's why we have been dependent upon Together in Mission for so many years, and that's why we're so grateful for parishioners like you who have dug deep and given to Together in Mission, which has helped to maintain parishes and schools like ours alive. So thank you ahead of time for your generosity today, and Cambria is going to tell you more about the details, but I'm so grateful to be able to say, on behalf of us all, thank you.
Thank you, Father Scott. Thank you for being here and sharing these wonderful stories. So it's my job now to cast the net for Together in Mission. But unlike Peter, I'm casting this net with a great deal of confidence because I know the incredible generosity of this parish and all of you, especially when it comes to supporting children and families. And so Dolores Mission is very close to us. They're our sister parish, but there are 34 other parishes and 51 other schools that have equally special, amazing stories that are doing incredible things in their community for their children and families. So now is your moment to help them too. So I'm going to ask for one member of each household to lean forward into the pew holders, and there are envelopes there. And perhaps the ushers could walk forward. If there are no more envelopes there, because this is the fourth Mass, then the ushers have additional pencils and envelopes. If you open that envelope, you'll see inside a commitment form. And so I'd ask you to please go ahead and begin to fill that out. I do want to say thank you very much to those of you who've been turning in your forms already. We're very, very appreciative of that. So thank you for your generosity. The other thing I should mention is that this year Holy Family has a goal of $147,000 to raise as a parish for Together in Mission. It's a win-win situation because if we raise that $147,000 and then go over, we get to keep the difference, and we use that for Holy Family's needs. It's a win-lose situation, though, because if we don't raise $147,000, then we have to make up the difference out of Holy Family's operating budget. So we urge you to be generous, both for those parishes and schools, but also for Holy Family, too. So when you've completed your name and contact information, you'll see about halfway down that form, there's a place that says, "Please credit my gift to." It's very important that you write Holy Family there, because that's credit towards our goal of $147,000. So please write Holy Family Parish, actually South Pasadena, even better. Holy Family Parish, South Pasadena. Together in Mission, it's very flexible about how you can pay your pledge. On the right-hand side of the commitment form, you'll see some suggestions for pledge amounts, anything from $10,000 and above to whatever amount. Nothing is too small. You can pay that now, whatever the amount is now, in one payment, or Together in Mission also allows you to pay it over 5 monthly payments. And you can do that by credit card, or they will bill you on a monthly basis. I've already filled this out for this year, and I like to pay by credit card, and then I don't have to think about it. So if you're going to pay by credit card, please go ahead and fill out that information now. And you'll see there's a place for you to indicate if it's a one-time charge or whether you're going to be making a payment over 5 months. We also have the option, especially for those of you who are at home and who are not with us today, we have an online giving option. If you go to Holy Family's website, holyfamily.org, there's an online giving button on the right-hand side of the page. If you click onto that, it will take you onto a page where you have the option of donating directly to Together in Mission. So once you've decided the amount that you're going to pledge for the year, and you've ticked off or filled in that box on the right-hand side of the form, then go ahead and fill in the total amount pledged. That's the pledge amount for the entire year. If you're going to make a deposit today, or you're going to pay your pledge in full, then you would write that amount under the amount enclosed, and then please place your cash or your check in the envelope. And then simply deduct the amount enclosed from the amount pledged to get the balance to be paid. And I'm going to ask the ushers to come forward, and we'll be taking up a collection now of the Together in Mission commitments, and then they will be taking up a second collection in a few minutes for if you've brought an offering or an envelope for Holy Family, for which we also thank you. So while they're taking up the collection, I just want to say thank you so much for your extraordinary generosity. You're truly doing the work of the body of Christ in sharing the resources that we have in so great abundance here at Holy Family to share with other parishes and schools that don't have the same financial resources that we do. We have an abundance of joy and faith and gratitude in this parish, but we also have an abundance of financial resources. So thank you for reaching out to our brothers and sisters in Christ throughout this archdiocese. God bless you. And thank you, ushers, for taking up the collection for Together in Mission.